dude. But when you don't see something for so long, Steiny, you're not used to it.
What haven't we seen for so long?
A turnover from Brock Purdy.
10 games.
No.
That's not long.
No, man.
In the NFL, that's not long.
No, for me, it was a rare occasion. And
rare occasion?
Yeah,
where
now you got a duck. I mean, back-to-back. I mean, he did it on 2 plays back-to-back. And I'm not saying he's done. I'm just like, damn, man. That start you started out on was in the clouds, heaven.
You know what? I remember me saying, after 5 games, can somebody tell me how Purdy can play better? Like, how can he play better?
We both said that.
Well,
but you got to play better than this, Steiny. You have to.
Yeah, so does Bosa.
And I'll tell you what, I don't want to go too far down the road because it was Operation Home Field Advantage. We see Brock Purdy had problems throwing the ball with the hand size or whatever, a wet ball. I mean, they need to get this thing fixed because you don't want to be on the road in the playoffs.
Maybe this is who they are. Maybe they're a 10-16. Maybe they're an 11-16. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe this is who they are. Maybe we were wrong, and they're not a 16-1 team, and it's not the biggest juggernaut in the last 20 years, and Brock Purdy's not the greatest story. I mean, God, the season wasn't even a third of the way over. Goo.
Oh, you're looking at this season. I'm looking at last season. Where they went to the NFC Championship game. Okay. I'm looking at the season before
they got their ass
where they
kicked.
were in the NFC Championship game.
Okay.
Should have won.
Right.
So this defense has been stellar for a couple years. And then it comes into this year. They're the darlings. And now the defense is the one that's just on the milk carton.
Well, but we got to throw Purdy in there too.
Well, yeah.
I mean, after watching
both have been bad for 3 games. You're right. The same amount of time.
See,
we came in here after the Dallas game. That was Ali knocking out Tyson.
Well, in week 5.
But still, you
they
said
were the
it was
best
the game
team in
of the
week
year.
5. So what? What's that matter now? They were the most dominant team in week 5. What does it matter now?
You have my point is, you had a standard. They had a standard, they said. And they're not meeting that defensively.
And that's what pisses me off. Because at 5-0, everything's perfect. Even though we're saying, you know what? Moody missed a couple of kicks. You know what?
Arizona drove 99 yards.
Thank you. But we didn't want to talk about it. But, I'm just telling you, there were signs that this team was not going to be 17-0. But I don't think we wanted to see them.
Mm.
I mean, let's go to Rob. Rob's in San Bruno.
Oh, boy, Rob, help us.
Man, look, let's be real about it. This is all on Kyle. This is Kyle's baby. This is squad. He chose the quarterback. He the one, instead of, trying to smear Trey Lance and get him out the way, you went out and paid, $4 million for Darnold. You got the other quarterback, pay him a couple million. So that $6 million used on the quarterback to get rid of Trey, you could have used it on some extra cornerbacks. You didn't replace Jimmy Ward. You replaced Jimmy Ward with a worse.
Rob, Rob, you're breaking up a little.
Yeah, because
clickety-clack.
Steiny, their secondary right now is not getting it done. And I know, secondary's best friend is a pass rush. They're not getting it done. But for a guy to come in here, Joe Burrow, who can be beat, the Bengals can be beat. They weren't healthy, no excuses. They were 3-3 coming into this game, and my man went out there and completed 28 of 32, as you pointed out. But this is what gets me. Steiny, 19 straight passes complete. You dropped back and completed 19 straight passes on the road? Yeah, this has been a colossal failure defensively the last 3 games. And the thing about it, I don't know if the bye is good. You know what? Because I feel like, Steiny, I'm glossing over, but you tell me if this sounds like an excuse. No Kittle and no Debo and Trent. That's a big deal. So it's nothing to see here.
Well, if you want to talk yourself into that, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever you're comfortable with is okay.
It don't sit well with me because I was part of this dude looks like he has the goods. I'm not ashamed of that, and I'm not by myself. Now I'm being so real. if this is who he is and the last pick in the draft, I mean, how many times scouts get it wrong?
This is who he is. 10 games like he played and 3 games like he played. That's who he is. That's all we have.
Can the 3 be the 4? Okay, all right.
I mean,
well, no, because Jacksonville ain't no. I know it ain't about Jacksonville, but that ain't no easy game.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not.
On the road.
The bottom line is they got beat by 2 quarterbacks who are better than Brock Purdy. Kirk Cousins and Burrow are better than Brock Purdy.
Well, PJ
not that
Walker
they go
ain't.
up. Not that they go up against him. But the reality of the situation is, you saw how really good quarterbacks carve up a defense.
He was incredible yesterday, Joe Burrow.
And Cousins was incredible the week before.
Huh?
That, to me, is the biggest problem with the 49ers right now. It's like their entire defense, they're not complimenting
the highest
each other.
paid defensive player ever is doing jack squat. And this ain't week 3. This is, I mean, Steiny, when do you
what? Bench him?
No, I ain't saying that.
Well, why couldn't he get benched?
Well, he said some stuff about Wilkes, I feel like on the subliminal, on the under, as we say from the Yoon, Steiny, on the under. So is this scheme or dogs just get after the quarterback whatever you got him in? And Armstead had 2 sacks yesterday, but I ain't going to call them meaningless, but they weren't money time.
Let's go to B in Oakland. Hey, B, how you doing, man?
The town.
Hey, B.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Okay, too much. I called just to tell y'all, thumbs up to you guys, because all morning y'all been hitting the nail right on the head. You know, our defense has been playing very lousy. And if you think about it, back in the day, we should be able to win them low-scoring games because our defense is playing lights out. Some days, you're going to have to be able to win these shootouts. So, Brock Purdy going to have to get himself together and stop throwing these picks. You know, because you're not going to always be able to rely on your defense. Sometimes you're going to have to rely on your offense. You know, you're going to have these shootouts. And last but least, like I say all the time, that's our main concern is our defense. But like I said, you know, Shanahan needs to get himself together because, like I said, he's not a great coach. He's not a good coach. He's an all right coach. And I think when we traded up to get Trey Lance, you know, he didn't have to do that because it wasn't like nobody was knocking down the door for Trey Lance. And you build your team off free agency and drafts. So when you give up your draft picks and you can't reach out there and get that, that's what happened. Well, and you guys, thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for listening, man. Appreciate it.
I mean, Steiny, okay, let me just say this to you and the masses. We all know the defense stinks. It's just the last 12 quarters have been damn near embarrassing.
Okay, I got to stop you there.
Right. The last 12 quarters.
No. That was no.
PJ Walker, Steiny, even though he didn't, he tried to give the game away.
41 points in the last 2 games before yesterday. I'm sorry, it's not embarrassing. Like, that's just not. You're giving up 20 points a game? How can, like, that to me, this game you want to pin on the defense, pin it on the defense. But the last 2 games, we got to score 20 points if we're the offense, and we didn't. To me, that yesterday was the first day the D didn't play well enough where they could have won the game. But go ahead.
No, I was getting to that. Why haven't they scored 30 all of a sudden? And I feel like I owe Deebo Samuel an apology because months ago I said he could be the odd man out. I was sipping the McCaffrey Kool-Aid. I told you and anybody that would listen, you know, this offense it's got the plethora of weapons. Maybe it don't need Deebo. And now Deebo may have been Purdy's best friend to drop back and throw it behind the line of scrimmage, put something else on the defensive mind. So, I mean, the one constant, I'm trying to solve a mystery here. The one constant, the last 3 games, Deebo went out early against Cleveland. Maybe his impact is way, way more important than I and a lot of people thought for Brock Purdy. But let's hope that's it because he's coming back. I don't know when. But those words came out of my mouth, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that I said this offense could do great things without Deebo Samuel after he was the offense before McCaffrey got here. So I'm checking my own self because I can do that. That's a real man. when you can look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, Goo, you got that wrong. You tried to say Debo wasn't that important, and now they figured out, put 8 men in the box, 5 defensive linemen, Purdy, McCaffrey, let's see what you got. And right now, that ain't working. They're getting nothing up the gut like they used to. And you think that's something to do with Debo not being out there?
Well, what I would just say is let this be a lesson to you. To not jump to conclusions. Let it play out.
Well, damn, I got to say my Warrior with this. My Warriors.
Oh, they're going to the finals?
No, we got to.
You know what's funny?
But no, I'm saying that to you like I'm admitting. I don't need you to tell me that. Shame on me or any, but you can admit it. It looked like they had so much. You know what?
5 games. It's 5 games. Why do we assume, or did we assume, that the next 12 were going to look like the first 5?
And again, Steiny, I'm trying to find my answer. I went down the schedule game, and I was like, oh, my gosh. When are they? Oh, and I didn't see the slip up in Cleveland. I didn't see the slip up in Minnie. I was laughing at you guys, 10-point favorites, and then 4 points yesterday. I didn't see – did Fred Warner play? Greenlaw's out there. Do you sit him so he can get healthy? Mixon was putting his shoulder into your heart and soul, delivering the thunder. At every level, they're defensively, they're doing nothing. Isaiah Oliver, he's playing tag. He's chasing somebody whoa. This is a big, big bye week, Steiny. What if they don't have
your popcorn ready for the bye week?
No, I don't, because they're not playing, but I do wonder what's going on at the complex.
Well, they're taking days off first. Carlito in Alameda. What's up, Carlito?
Gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen. Listen, fellas, let me put the rat on the table. Brought to you by Yakko Pest Control.
Give it to us.
When Purdy started last year, he had everything ready for him. McCaffrey was fresh. The defense was fresh. Nobody knew who Purdy was. Now everybody has studied him and knows what's going to happen. Look, I think moving forward, Kyle should be more conservative with Purdy and use him like Garoppolo. Thank you.
I kind of love that little boom.
But it's got a emphasis.
But maybe that's the reason why we're getting some clickety-clacks.
The whole thing about Purdy and his takeoff, shout out Migo Steiny, was there was trust. The whole playbook was open. But when you start talking, if Carlito's right and Kyle's going to dial stuff back, well, guess what, Steiny? You got the Jimmy Garoppolo experience all over again. And Purdy wasn't awful yesterday. He used his legs, made some throws to where I was like, interception. He's throwing it back across the field. Oh, completion, touchdown. But then you saw those picks at the 10-yard line where you're going into tie the game.
One pick at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, but the
it's
picks.
A pick.
No, right.
At the 10-yard line.
Right. But the picks in general.
Here's the other thing. And how
2
many
games with 2 picks?
How many times did I hear? Okay, 2 games with 2 picks. And how many times over the last year did we say, man, he got away with one? Oh, he got away with one that game. A lot. Okay. We didn't get away with any yesterday. It's football. Steiny's salty about the Warriors winning on the road.
What is that one? Boy, they look good.
I actually don't think they do look good, believe it or not.
I had this conversation last night.
Yeah, I don't think they look great.
But they won the games where last year they would have lost these on the road.
I wouldn't say that. They played the Houston Rockets. Let's crack. Go ahead and make the same mistake. Go ahead, say it. Warriors are unbeatable. They're unbeatable.
Jalen Green's a baller.
Jalen Green stinks. He doesn't know how to play basketball.
But he'll learn it. And when he does,
really?
Watch out.
Why would you say that?
Oh, just his time in the league. You learn, Steiny.
Not everybody. Look at Nick Young.
Well, he didn't have this skill set.
Yeah. Nick Young is very talented. Very talented.
I'll just tell you this last thing about the Warriors. Strength in numbers is back. They got a bench now. And I love Chris Paul came off of it, no problem.
So you're doing the same thing now with the Warriors that you did with the Niners.
I didn't make any declarations. I just said they got a bench.
Well, we'll see. It's 3 games in.
I like what I see.
Well, okay, that's better.
I didn't say you hate that I'm making no declaration. You know what? I'm going to chill on the prediction.
Let me tell you who I don't think's been great. Sarich.
That ain't shocking.
I don't think he's made. I don't think he's. What did I say? Hey, what did I say before the season? I know it's only 3 games. What did I say?
Look at old Evan.
He's going to have trouble making shots for some reason.
His age, maybe. And
he's 30.
29.
That's even worse.
29?
Thank you.
Oh.
Let's go to Antonio.
Undefeated on the road, though, Steiny.
What's that?
Back to the calls.
Your bet with me on the road. Yeah. Tim's even tweeted it out.
Trouble.
Early.
You want to double down?
No.
I'll double down on it.
New Orleans tonight.
I'll double down. They're going to win tonight?
They're underdogs.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Back to back.
Somebody said you're mad Warriors went on the road.
I could care less about that.
Boy.
Let's go to...
We need some solutions. Call with a solution. Quit saying, I told you. Johnny, I told you so. I admitted my error.
Which one? Which one?
Now, did Purdy could keep this up? We don't know. But how can you were in the conversation? Philly, Niners. Right. It's them in Dallas.
Yeah,
now where we
5.
at? Seattle's in first in the NFC West. That's no shade at you. It's just
it can't be shade at me.
It's incredible.
The only one with a rational.
This is incredible.
What's incredible? This isn't the first team that's lost 3 in a row. What do you want, Evan?
Go ahead. Yeah.
You look like you're ready to jump in. That don't look like that. If you're not ready to jump in,
look like what?
Right.
Don't look poised.
How dare you
to jump in?
How you feeling? How's a hip?
I can't stand you right now.
For what?
For everything you said for 5 weeks.
Some days I think you work with the internet. I think you look at me like I'm the internet. No, seriously.
No, you're worse than that.
Like you take it out on me, brother. I'm being real.
No, you're not.
Then what's the solution?
Somebody said
Give me.
Somebody said something about Guru's.
I was at the zoo Saturday, baby.
They were hitting you on the text on their Comcast business text.
Saying what?
They used a word that I didn't like. That's why I didn't read it.
Spade.
No.
Remember I said call a spade a spade? You didn't. Some people.
Yeah.
What was the word?
They said you're disingenuous.
About?
The Niners.
What's that mean?
That means you pump them up so you can kill them. You call them one of the greatest teams going that the minute they stub their toe, you can stick it to them.
Let me just, before you get to the calls, Evan, this is my proof. My father, Norman Johnson, has 2 tickets in his wallet. One for the Niners to win the Super Bowl and the other for him to win the NFC. Okay. I can't even find them. He's so despondent right now. When a couple weeks ago it looked like cash it. This is crazy. And I'm going to throw another rat on the table. I think something's going on with Wilkes and Kyle. I think we could see Kyle take over. Somebody else call the defensive plays. I feel like that is growing and manifesting. I hope it ain't, because the other 2 guys here parlayed their defensive coordinator job into head coaching jobs, and they were minorities. What is going on with Wilkes? I don't know, because I don't recognize this defense.
What's a bigger
there, I said it.
What's a bigger concern? That the 49ers gave up 31 against that team, or that they scored 17 against that team? Because I'll take a 50-50 on that
and
one.
That's why I was about to say equal, and that's why I changed. Steiny, 50-50.
No, that's what I said.
Brought to you by Steinmetz. Right. Dude, man.
Let's go to Antonio in Oakland.
Give us some answers, man.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Man, the defense has to deserve most of the blame, man. Like Bosa, he's getting pressures, but he's not getting home. He's not getting the sacks. Hargrave disappearing. Then you got Drake missing in action. Jackson, where's he gone? Drake Greenlaw missed, 3 tackles?
Hufanga and Gibson not getting turnovers. Travarius Ward's playing like a rookie corner. All these holding calls, like, geez Louise. But the Niners miss Deebo Samuel because he is a little bit like Draymond Green is for the Warriors. He brings that physical element, tone setter, rough and tough, run you over, physicality. Same with Trent Williams, man. Those are our two big dudes because when the Browns game started, before the game, who were the two guys involved in the little scuffle? Trent and Deebo. Those are the two notable guys. So those guys are the dudes. We miss them. But they got to do some things in their bye week, man, get back to 49er football.
Hey, Antonio, real quick, speaking of those two, isn't it ironic that those were the two S starters in a good way and they're both out? I'm wondering if you should have let sleeping dogs lie. Like now teams are mocking the Niners before the game starts.